Welcome back to Fox Explainer. Today I am going to show you a crime, drama, and thriller movie from 2007 called Flawless. Spoilers ahead. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of our story, we see a hand digging in the mud and finding what look like gems. In fact, the gems are uncut diamonds. Now we see the busy city of London. An old woman named Laura Quing is sitting in a cafe as a young newspaper reporter named Cassie comes in. Cassie wants to write a story about Laura. As they talk, Laura pulls out a 58-sided, 168-carat diamond. Laura tells Cassie how she stole the diamond from the London Diamond Company. Cassie is amazed and picks up the diamond. When Laura tells us her story, we are taken back to London in 1960. A young businesswoman named Laura is walking into the building of the London Diamond Corporation, where she works as a manager in a company mostly made up of men. She says hello to Mr. Hobbs, an older man who works as a cleaner. We see two men with small trolleys following a man named Mr. Eaton. Eaton opens a big vault where they put diamonds on the trolleys and take them to the desks to check for flaws. Outside, a group of people are protesting as the owner of the company called Demkaya and his son Ali walk up to the building. As the directors and staff walk into the office, they are waiting to talk about the latest news that 100 diamond workers have died at a mine site in Africa. Laura tells Demkaya that because of the bad press, it's likely that the Russians will cut ties with the company. Demkaya says that Peter Boland is the new managing director. Laura is not picked because the company will not break with tradition and make a woman managing director. We see Mr. Hobbs, the cleaner, come into Laura's office later. He tells her he thinks people should be brave and go after what they want. Laura signs out of the building. As usual, she is the last person to leave. The next day, Laura sees a man named Harold Reynolds in the hallway. She met him at Oxford University. He gives Laura his business card and suggests that she might want to work for the same company he does, Allied Banking. The next morning, she finds her note of encouragement and a negative response below it. She also finds a movie ticket with a showtime written on the back. She gets too curious and goes to the movies during her lunch break. When Laura walks into the movie theater, Mr. Hobbs is already there and suggests that they sit together. She is getting irritated, but he tells her that he overheard the directors say that her job will end soon. He suggests that they steal enough diamonds to get rich, but not enough to get caught. She doesn't know if she should believe him or not, and she tells Hobbs that he won't get away with that. Later, at work, Laura finds a letter telling her that her job is over. Then, she decides to set up a time to see Harry Reynolds. As Laura and Harry eat at a restaurant, Harry tells Laura that his company cannot hire her because she is not qualified. It seems that her company has been spreading bad rumors about her. That night, she falls asleep on the sofa and has a dream that security guards at work catch her trying to steal diamonds from the company. The next night, she goes to the dog races to try to find Hobbs. She asks him what he plans to do to steal from the company. Hobbs tells her he is planning something. He explains his plan in Hobbs' apartment. Because the vault codes change every week, he will need Laura to help him find the codes, which are somewhere in Mika's study at his house. Hobbs tells Laura that she will have to find the vault codes when she entertains the Russians at Mika's house. He tells her that he can carry enough diamonds in his drink thermos for them both to retire comfortably. On the night of the event, Laura talks to Mr. Jameson, Mika's second-in-command. He tells Laura that Sir Sinclair, the company's insurance director, was once involved in a health insurance scandal but wasn't punished. Mkaya brings them together with Mitriv, who is in charge of the Russian Diamond Authority. Mitriv asks Laura for a dance. Later, Laura goes upstairs and into Mika's study to look for the codes. When Laura hears footsteps, she hides quickly as Mkaya walks in and opens a small safe. She watches him and keeps the safe code in her head. After he leaves, she opens the safe and finds the vault's codes. The next day, Laura sees a man in the hallway putting up a security camera. She meets Hobbs later and tells him that 8 CCTV cameras are being set up. She tells him that every 60 seconds, the cameras turn on and off. He tells her that will give him enough time to get into and out of the vault. Next, Hobbs sweeps the floor in the security room and sets the cameras to the right time. In the room where he cleans, he checks his stopwatch and then moves. He looks at the stopwatch on his watch and runs to the vault to put in the code. In the meantime, Laura calls the security room to keep Hobbs busy and buy him a little more time. Again, he looks at his stopwatch, opens the vault, and quickly runs down the hall and out of the camera's view. In the end, we see Hobbs go home from work. The next morning, Laura sees Hobbs leave for work, but a sign on the clerk's desk tells Hobbs to come back in. Hobbs has to clear out a toilet before he can leave. Hobbs is at home emptying his tea thermos into the sink, but there are no diamonds in there. The next day, all of the people who sorted the diamonds had gone home. Jameson is in a panic when Laura goes down to the lobby and finds him there. Laura is in the women's bathroom when Mr. Eaton calls her and takes her to the vault. She can't believe what she sees when she walks in. The safe is vacant. Mr. Eaton is showing a man named Finch the plans for the building and telling him that the door is the only way into the vault. Now, MK is telling everyone in management that there won't be a police investigation because it would be bad for business. Sinclair says that Finch is the head investigator for the insurance company. When Laura sees Hobbs in the lobby, he tells her that everything is fine. Laura goes to Micah's office after that. We see a man named Boyle handing MK a letter about the purchase of some stock. It looks like Boyle doesn't know who his client is or what's in the inventory. Boyle is called away to answer the phone. MK reads the letter while he is out, which says that the diamonds can be bought back for £100 million. Boyle gives MK a small package before leaving, and then he leaves. MK opens the package and takes out a huge diamond called the South African Star. Finch asks Laura some questions later and notices how nervous she is. The next morning, Laura tells Jameson that she thinks she could help Finch with his investigations if she worked with him. Laura finds Finch, and the two of them go down to the vault. He tells her that the 60-second time gap in CCTV cameras makes them less safe. Finch tells her that no one broken. She thinks the thief must have known how to open the safe. Sinclair gives MK a check for £5 million to buy enough diamonds to keep doing business, but MK wants the diamonds back. When Finch suggests that Micah's son Ollie might have been involved, MK loses his temper and threatens to ruin Sinclair if he doesn't pay the ransom. Now we see Hobbs in an underground canal. Laura tells him that they should give the diamonds back and make a deal, but he tells her that if they do, they will go to jail. When Finch comes in to take her fingerprints as a formality, we see Laura looking at the plans of the building. Then he asks her to come with him while he talks to Hobbs. While Finch is asking Hobbs questions, a man walks in and tells Finch to leave. Laura tells Hobbs that they will have to negotiate or go to jail before he leaves the office. He tells her that what he is fighting for is worth 100 lifetimes in jail. We see Finch looking at Laura's prints and comparing them with some from Micah's house. Now, Laura is looking for a clue to the diamonds by opening Hobbs' locker. Later, Laura goes with Finch to a nearby bar for a drink. After Sinclair told them, the press shows up at the London Diamond building. So Gottfried, who is in charge of Sinclair, tries to keep the press away. MK comes down the stairs, then has a heart attack and drops to the floor. When they get back to the bar, Finch asks Laura how she got all the diamonds out. She tells him she is not that smart. Then, Finch hears that MK had a heart attack, so he leaves. Laura loses a diamond from rearing in the sink drain in the women's bathroom. She pulls out the pipe, and all of a sudden she figures out how Hobbs must have taken the diamonds. Laura gets a torch and goes into the underground drain system. As she walks through the tunnels, Hobbs comes out with a torch. When she threatens to turn him in, he points a gun at her and tells her to stay. She knocks the gun out of his hand and runs through the tunnel, but trips and falls. She then sees a huge diamond on the floor and puts it in her pocket. Hobbs tells Laura how his wife's cancer could have been removed, but the insurance company made her wait too long for surgery. By that time, the cancer was too aggressive. Sinclair was the insurance chairman at the time, and he put off the surgery. So Laura realizes that Hobbs is getting his own back on Sinclair. Hobbs tells Laura that Sinclair took the one thing he truly loved. Gottfried tells Sinclair that he has agreed to pay the ransom of £100 million. Sinclair goes into his office and shoots himself. Laura tells Hobbs about how she dropped her diamond in the sink and then figured it out. Now, we see a flashback to when Hobbs was taking all of the diamonds in his work cart to his workroom at different times. Ollie hears that the ransom money has been put into the account, but the note from Boyle that says where the diamonds are is blank. Then we can see how Hobbs got rid of the diamonds. Hobbs was asked to clean the toilet, where he found the South African Star at the bottom. The gun is now pointed at Laura, and Hobbs pulls the trigger. He was surprised to find that the gun wasn't loaded. He tells her it doesn't matter anymore because the money will have been paid. He turns off his flashlight and leaves. Laura walks down the tunnel and looks around the corner. At the end of the drain, all of the diamonds are piled up high. Now, men are carrying boxes of diamonds out of the underground tunnel while Laura sits on the steps wrapped in a blanket. Finch tells her that he lost his 5% finder's fee because she found the diamonds. Finch stops Laura just as she's about to say something. He says that he doesn't want her to spend the rest of her life in jail. He says goodbye and then goes away. She remembers the big diamond in her pocket, but she decides to keep it. Ollie tells the press that the diamonds went stolen, and then he lets them take pictures of all the diamonds in the vault. Mitrieve is seen signing a contract to make sure that he will keep working for the company. Now that we're back in the present, Laura is talking to Cassie again. She tells her that she quit the company a month later. How she got a letter from a Swiss bank telling her that £100 million had been put into an account in her name. Laura gives Cassie the story she wants published as a manuscript, hoping it will inspire other women. At the end, we find out that Laura gave all the money to good causes all over the world. We look at a picture of Laura with her daughter and husband. Cassie makes her way to the end of the manuscript and reads the last few words. It's a wonderful world out there. The question is, what kind of person are you going to be? A giver or a taker? She goes outside to search for Laura, but she finds that she has already left. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more and hit the like button to help me out, and also leave a comment if you want me to explain your favorite film. Until next time, take care.